Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Well, depreciation and deceleration are two different words. I know we get some Scrabble points for both of them, but they mean different things. Although it seems like the headlines here and some of the fear-mongering coming around from the inflationary issues and the interest rates rise and all the stuff that we've been doing, those two words seem to be throwing around synonymously, and they are not. I've been talking about this for a while now on the show, and I want to make sure I bring it up again here today. Deceleration and depreciation are two different words. Are we going to see a deceleration of appreciation in the real estate market? Absolutely we are. We're starting to see that already. But this may be, I was going through getting ready for this show, and I actually found this slide. This actually may be interesting to some. Some might not know this. Here's a slide up right now where we have charted, as you can see, for the last 122 months. The last 122 months, yeah, over 10 years. This chart, look, every quarter shows year-over-year appreciation. If you look at these last few quarters, man, that's definitely some higher stuff, right? So if we bring that back down to what we were seeing in, 15? 14, and we get back down to 5, 6, 4% appreciation year over year, what does that mean? Are we going down? No. It's not 2008 all over again where anything is pointing to depreciation. I got another slide I'm going to throw up here right now. If you watched my show a couple of weeks ago, you saw that I put this slide up. This is the anticipation from all the economists for this year. You look down here at the bottom, there's one that says it's going to be lower appreciation, and then we have our average, but we're still saying appreciation. Why do I bring all that up? Because I can't tell you how many buyers I've got right now that are kind of on the fence. They're like, I think that maybe, all these headlines that I'm reading are showing that we're going to crash. I'll always ask them to send me what they're reading. Send me what you're reading, okay? Tell me exactly what you're reading because I want to know where their premise is. I also want to know where they're located at. Are there going to be certain parts of the country where we may see depreciation? Sure. There's been a mass exodus from New York City. There's been a mass exodus from California, although both of those are fine in real estate right now. Some of the Midwest has kind of slowed some, and we're starting to see a slight depreciation, but it's not much. We've definitely seen a huge deceleration. So our appreciation is going to slow, which makes that downward turn, which gives you good articles, because all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're depreciating. No. We're decelerating our appreciation. Pay attention to that. Appreciation is still based on supply and demand. And as you can see here in just a few minutes, when we go over our two counties, demand still far, far outweighs supply. We are growing on the supply side, which I've been hoping for 2 years. When I started this in 2019, we had different price points in all parts of the market. So we had hyper sellers, we had sellers, we had neutral, we had buyers. Wait a minute. Did he just say buyers? Yeah, we had buyers market and, wait for it, hyper buyers markets. There were certain price points that were 24 months worth of inventory. Okay, that's a normal market. We're supposed to have all that. This hyper sellers that I've been, if you watch a show beginning of this year, I said I feel like a parrot the last 2 years because it's hyper sellers, hyper sellers, hyper sellers, hyper sellers. But I'm trying to document as we were in these markets so that as things change, we wind up having a neutral market. We might have certain price points that reach buyers' activity, but I don't think there's going to be any depreciation in those assets. What might happen is if the property comes on the market for $170,000, you might not get 10 offers at $190 or $200, way over list, right? That's probably going to go away. But we are not in a depreciating market right now. We are decelerating appreciation. We're coming up on 4th of July. 4th of July, August, all the way over to Labor Day, okay? That starts to typically, let's go pre-COVID, and let me just talk about the market for a second, from 2010 to 2020, all right, all the way up to January 2020, pre-COVID. When we saw 4th of July, that was kind of the peak of the summer buying season because people wanted to close before school got enacted in August. So school's back in August. They want to be able to close, so right around 4th of July, end of July is when you kind of see that peak. And then it starts to drop off seasonally. That's our seasonal drop off. Okay, fine. Do I think we may see that again this time? Yeah. I'm also getting calls from sellers scared. that we've hit a peak. And I don't want either side to make an irrational decision. Do we need more inventory? Yes. If you're a seller right now, could you make a serious profit? More than likely. I don't know everybody's situation, so I can't just say yes, because I did have someone call me last week and said, I want to sell the place, but I owe too much. And we looked, and I'm like, you might be surprised because we got a serious appreciation lately. No, they were right. They owed too much. They had taken out different loans and used the property as collateral, so they owed too much. They were having trouble keeping it up. Didn't want to file bankruptcy, so we talked about a short sale, which I haven't talked about in a while. We talked about it on a short sale on this property, and that's probably the way they're going to go. They're seeking legal counsel right now, which I always suggest you do when you start to get in that situation. We definitely want to have legal counsel input on the best way to go. I understand the finance and the real estate side of it, but there's other aspects of that. So anyways, they're talking to legal counsel. We'll probably catch up next week. But are we going to see depreciation? No. No, there's nothing that points to depreciation. And I've said this the last couple of weeks too. I put my money where my mouth is. I just put a new rental under contract yesterday. So I'm buying still. Does it mean I'm not selling stuff? No, I've got something that I'm selling coming on the market here in 2 weeks. It's a play for me. It's a move for me. So, but it doesn't mean I'm not buying. Take that for what it's worth. Deceleration of appreciation is different than depreciation. All right, I know you watched the show to get to the inventory of these two counties, so let's go. All right, if you've never seen the show, you don't know that I always start with this slide right here. It says if we have between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory, we have what's called a neutral market. Anything less than 6 months, a seller's market. Anything greater than 7 months, buyer's market. What the slide doesn't say, anything less than 3, hyper seller's market. Anything greater than 9, hyper buyer's market. Let's start over here at Escambia County, and looky. We're up to 655 active total. Starting to get some up here, but you got to go to 350,000 to get over a month's inventory. Except for that 0 to 50,000, those properties, I think 2 of them are lots. One of them is a burnt out mobile home. And the other one, yeah, it basically needs to be cleared. So they say 2.7 months worth of inventory. There is massive amount of work that needs to be done on these properties. So that's why that's high. 50,000 to 100,000, they got up to 1.8 months worth of inventory. We're starting to see some stuff come on at this price point. Not all of it inhabitable out of the gate, as you can tell from your list to sale ratios. This line right here is a list to sale ratio, and if you can't see it, 1.8 months worth of inventory between 50,000 and 100,000, the list to sale ratio is 90% to 94%. What does that mean? If I list something at $100,000, I'm probably going to get somewhere between $90,000 and $94,000 for the property. Well, Shane, everything's going over list. Not everything. Not everything. You got to pay attention to that. So buyers are sitting there going, well, I just can't win. Yeah, you can. It's the right agent, the right strategies. What price point are we talking about? Because the strategies are going to change. As you can see down here at 650,000 and 700,000, I got 5.8 months worth of inventory. That's literally 0.2 months away from a neutral market, finally seeing a yellow on this thing. I haven't seen a yellow on this thing since 2020. We're probably going to get back up to yellow very soon on this, and then 700,000 plus your luxury. I'm up to 4 months inventory. Is the marketing changing from under 3 months to over 4 months? Yeah. I got a property coming on down towards Perdido at 7:30 here in a couple of weeks. All right, as soon as we get past 4th of July, I think but there's marketing that has to change here. Because it was funny, the sellers actually asked me, they were like, do we have to do that in this market? These were things that I was talking about we needed to do, and I went, yeah, because you're not in the 200,000 to 250,000 where there's only 0.7 months worth of inventory. This marketing changes. The problem is when you get some agents out there who have never seen anything but all red. They've never seen a yellow, much less, you know, an orange as we're coming up, or a yellow, which is a neutral market, or wait till we get a green in there. Like 7 months worth of inventory, or a blue over 9 months worth of inventory. It's like, whoa, hang on. They haven't seen that yet. So they don't know the strategies you have to start implementing. We didn't have to implement a year ago. Now we're going to have to. So experience counts there. That is Escambia County. Let's jump over to Santa Rosa County real quick. Looks like there is nothing for sale under 100 grand. Nothing. We do have 395 active. I think that's up slightly from last week, if I remember correctly. We may have been over 400 last week. I don't remember. You have to go all the way up. You have this one pocket at 1.3 months. But mostly everything under $550,000 is under a month's inventory. Then you get up to $600,000 to $650,000 and higher. That comes out of the hyper sellers and into just the sellers. Let me just mention this to the buyers right now. If you're watching the show and you're one of the buyers, don't think this means you can come in $50,000 under asking price. No. If you look here, these are still selling for 100% to 99%. So if I'm asking $650,000 for something, could I maybe take $643,500? Maybe. But don't come in at 600 grand. You'll just get laughed at. I had a customer, a potential customer, call me and said, hey, he'd watched the show a couple of times. Said, hey, I want to write this offer. I think they were asking $282,000. He said, I want to offer it cash. Okay. But I want to offer $220,000. Property's been on the market like 3 days. I went, no. He kind of got mad at me because I wouldn't write it up. I'm like, no, you're wasting your time. You're wasting my time. You're wasting the listing agent's time. You're wasting the seller's time. They're not going to take that. No. He tried to quote saying that, you know, I'm obligated to write whatever offer he tells me to. That's not what you're you're getting confused if I represent the seller and it is agreed upon that I present any and all offers, then I'm obligated to do it. Am I obligated to write an offer I know is a waste of time? No, I'm not. He went with someone else. This was a couple weeks ago. He went with someone else to write the offer. That agent called me yesterday. Apparently they've written like 8 offers and the listing agents are just not even responding to them anymore. But she told me, she said, you know, he said that he tried to work with you and you wouldn't work with him. I think I'm starting to learn why. I understand this market. I understand what we have to do. I understand what's going on here. These are different price points, but you can't go offering something that low. If we were in 2010, 2011, it's a different conversation. It's an absolute different conversation. I come out with a book. I wrote a book in 2014 or 15. The Science Behind Selling Your Property, right? You can find it on Amazon. That was the marketing that I was doing in 2014, 2013, 2015, which is totally different than what it is now. So it ebbs and flows on marketing. It ebbs and flows in strategies. One of the reasons I give this show out, and I looked at the analytics of this show, and it seems like 33% of the people watching this show are other realtors here in town trying to get this information. I'm fine with that. If I can help you, cool. I've had agents call me from all different other companies here in town because they know I'm the broker over at mine, so they'll call every once in a while just to ask a quick question. I don't mind. As long as I'm not meeting with a customer or something, I don't mind taking 5 minutes and helping you. You don't have to just work with me or work in my organization for that. I don't mind sitting down just chatting. But they got to get this information so that you understand the strategies. Are strategies changing? Are we shifting? We absolutely are shifting. There are things that are changing. Are we going to see deceleration of appreciation? Yes. Are we going to see depreciation? Nothing points to that. Nothing at all. All right. Always end the show by telling about my instant offer program. Just had somebody successfully take advantage of that actually yesterday. Basically, the instant offer program is simple. We'll come out, we'll take a look at the property. Usually there's a lot of work needs to be done. We'll give you an instant offer on the property. Exactly what do you want to accomplish? I'm less and less transaction driven and more person driven. I want to talk to you about what you need to accomplish. All right. If I can help you, great. If I can't, I'll point you in the right direction. All right. Just like I talked to that one client, they were talking about a short sale. I pointed them to some attorneys. Like, you need legal counsel before you make these decisions. Get all the counsel you need first, then we'll make the decisions. The instant offer program gives you a chance to say, okay, this is what you can have. Instant offer will close in 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, whatever it was, 30 days, whatever needed. One person took it up on an instant offer. They said, but wait, I can't move for 65 days or something. It was a weird thing. And I went, fine. We just built that in. The contract was just a lot longer than we normally do. But that helped them ease their mind because they knew that we would close and we knew that was off their plate. Okay, great. So that instant offer, there's a link below. Check it out. I talk about being able to do that. And one of the other things that a lot of people like is they'll take my instant offer and then have me put it on the MLS for hire and see if they can get more. And if they can, fantastic. I don't care either way. Whatever helps you guys. That's really all I'm out for. I know if I help enough people, I'll get mine. I'm not worried about it. Instead, I would rather help people get what they're trying to get. I actually tell this story a lot. I had someone call me on the instant offer. I give them an instant offer. We went on the MLS. They wound up getting about $15,000 more than what I offered them. Fantastic. You know, they had the time. It wasn't a rush. They didn't have a bunch of repairs. They did have some, but they didn't have a bunch. And they had the capital to fix it if they needed to. So that's a different situation. And when they did, it was like, okay, you know, now we got this offer at $15,000 more, and they closed. They put more money in their pocket. We all went to dinner afterwards. It was great. So there's a link below to check that information out. Anyways, a little shorter than my last couple of weeks because I didn't do as long of a rant, but depreciation and deceleration, two entirely different words. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?